Welcome to Q News, your source of news and entertainment during the COVID quarantine. I'm Brittany Newman.
And I'm Brandon Newman. This is Q News.
We start today by wishing you a happy Easter. With Easter comes new beginnings, and for Christians all over the world, ourselves included, we believe that Jesus rose from the grave on this day. He conquered death, and by that we have eternal life. Now, the show that we're about to do today, Q News, it's not just about religion or Christianity. In fact, it's not about that at all. So don't tune out just yet. Q News is all about giving you information during this COVID quarantine, hopefully bringing some joy and laughter into your lives. Also, I live with a very funny man, Brandon, here. So honestly, I would be doing you a disservice if you did not get to experience him with me. Plus, we've been doing some really fun stuff during these times, so we just hope to bring some ideas your way.
Some of the topics we're going to cover: the numbers, the latest numbers from the COVID crisis, the briefing, where we brief you on the latest task force briefing, and good news that's happening all around us. And a few other fun topics to get you through the quarantine. With that, let's begin. Here are your numbers for today.
The numbers. Okay, so today we found out the numbers. COVID crisis numbers. Total confirmed COVID numbers were 1.73 million. The total confirmed cases in the United States were 506,000. Total in the United States deaths were only 20,000, and the people who have recovered in the United States were 29,000.
And these numbers are cumulative.
That's important. So if you think about the United States confirmed cases, 506,000, and if you're trying to think like, well, what does that equal? That's the population of Sacramento, California. Also, out of our United States population of 329 million people, that 506,000 represents only 0.15% of the country. I mean, that's very small. The point is
almost insignificant.
It's almost insignificant. It's relatively insignificant.
Right.
Statistically, you might say.
Much like this show so far.
The show so far is great. The United States deaths, so the number of people who have died from COVID crisis, is equal to the population of La Cañada, Flint Ridge City, California. So does anybody know where that is? I've never heard of that place before.
Never been.
But in 2010, their population was 20,000 people. And if you really think about, so the number of people who have died from coronavirus are 20,000. And the point of this is, it's a small number, right? And not to minimize the fact that people are dying from this disease, but just to bring some light to the subject that it's a very small number, especially considering, how large everything is, and even just considering the United States population. Did you have anything to add?
You make a great point.
That's typically how it goes.
Always.
So, and then we want to talk about the recovery. So, yes, 20,000 people have died as of today, but the people who have recovered in the United States are 29,000. So if you think about out of 506,000 people who have confirmed COVID cases, that's actually a 5% recovery rate, as opposed to the death rate, which is only a 3.9%. So 20,000 out of 506. But again, the recoveries are winning at 5% over 3.9%. So people are recovering from COVID. We're surviving the crisis, as we always do as Americans. We are Americans, right? And so we're obviously winning. Hashtag winning.
Right. Yeah, and I think I've seen some statistics that show that our death rate is quite a bit lower than some of the other countries that have had COVID outbreaks.
Oh, that's right. Okay. That's great. So again, we're recovering, we're surviving. Cheers. Cheers to that, right?
Cheers.
Cheers to that.
All right. The next segment we're going to cover is the briefing. So this is where we tell you what happened in the latest COVID briefing. I'm sorry. Brittany saw something very funny behind the camera. So anyway, we'll move on. So the coronavirus task force will not be holding a briefing for the second day in a row after skipping Saturday and Easter Sunday. This will no doubt cause a media frenzy as the daily sparring between Trump and the news outlets has become a countrywide drinking game.
Absolutely.
The words Fauci, fake news, ventilators, and unprecedented are being heard at unprecedented levels. You see what I did there?
Unprecedented.
However, there are a few nuggets of useful information hidden in between the incoherent bickering that is reminiscent of seagulls at the dump. Since we haven't had an update over the weekend, we'll fill you in on what took place during Friday's briefing.
And also, this is our first update ever. So
it is.
You're welcome.
You're welcome. I'm sure you're excited for this. The Army Corps of Engineers has built 21 temporary hospitals across the country, adding over 17,000 hospital beds. The FDA has accelerated testing for 19 new treatments and therapies that may be used for COVID-19. And they've got an additional 26 treatments waiting in the wings or in planning for a clinical trial.
Critical.
Yes.
Critical trial.
The Federal Reserve has announced it will provide an additional $2.3 trillion in support of local businesses, states, and governments, with $600 billion of that being available to businesses of up to 10,000 employees. And we all know we've got our Trump bucks coming in the mail this week, so hopefully we'll be able to buy stuff we don't need soon.
I already got mine.
Yep. The most important announcement of all, at least to me it is, was that the president announced a plan to open an additional 2.3 million acres of land for hunting and fishing at more than 100 locations around the country, including right here in San Diego Bay.
That's incredible.
It is. I can't wait to get out there and fish more than I already do.
We're going to be doing a lot of fishing and hunting.
It's a great way to survive in the apocalypse.
Absolutely. You got to get yourself a man like this.
Right.
He knows how to hunt and fish.
So for our next segment, we're going to jump over to quarantine madness. This is one of my favorite segments. So last night we did this fun thing with YouTube where we started to use a random word generator to find a word to search on YouTube.
Yep.
Then we would search for that word and find the most played video that we could that was relatively short.
Like 2 minutes, 3 minutes.
That was related to that word.
Yep. Yeah, so we started out with, I don't know, I felt like the first one was super inappropriate. We thought it was like sticky. So if you think about that on YouTube, you're like, ooh, what's going to come up? But it was actually really good. And we found one of like a really great song, this band called Sticky Fingers.
Great reggae band.
It's a great reggae band. We just randomly found it.
And we love reggae.
And we started playing it on Amazon Music today. I didn't say her name or else she would have started. One of the things that I liked was we had a word like development. And it brought up this video by Google about quantum computing, which is this crazy, like super advanced type of computing that's going on, like that's already been developed. And it is light years ahead of even the computers that we're using right now today. It has no use case yet, but it will because Americans and people are so smart. And somebody will figure something out to do with that.
Right. They'll be able to download porn at hyperspeed.
Perfect. For Brandon.
Perfect for me.
Okay. Another thing that I really liked, that I thought was really interesting was we searched for the word power. And what we found was a Kanye West video with literally 118 million views. Okay. That's way more than the number of COVID cases are ever, like throughout the entire globe. And it was just Kanye, up in his, I don't even know, he was like an angel or something with all these women dancing around him.
Naked women.
Yeah. Almost nearly naked.
It was a 2-minute video and it got 118 million views. So You did well.
I mean, and it was a good exercise. The whole thing that we did was really fun.
I would encourage you to do the same. And there's a word generator online. If you search for it, I'm sure you'll find it. Go on YouTube, find a cool video to watch.
And we can actually link this below. We'll link a couple of these things below so that you guys have access to do this
Correct.
stuff. Did you want to do any of those last ones?
Moving on. Next segment.
Okay, so this is one of my favorite segments. Get Brett fit. So this is it's a curious segment because are we saying we're getting Brett fit, like you're trying to get me fit, or is this like you guys are aspiring to be Brett fit? You can decide. But so you probably saw the picture that I posted on Facebook today. But if you didn't, Brandon and I, we've been working out a lot together because we're working from home together now all the time, which is great. But today we did a really great Tabata workout. I don't know, what do you think about it?
I thought it was great. I sweat my ass off. Mm-hmm. And also, to commemorate it, I drew this picture of a Brittany working out. And I think it was quite good.
It was quite good. So what I have here is the exact Tabata workout that we did. So it was like 8 rounds, all these different things. I'm going to post it below. And also, we want to know what you guys are doing for workouts because we know we're all stuck in the same boat. Like, we're at home together. We're like almost going to kill each other. So we need to like get exercise, right? So what are you guys doing? We want to know too. We always need ideas. Okay. And me again. This is a fun one. So I didn't make a sign for this one, but this segment is called Hat Trick. And do you want to explain it?
Sure. So we've taken a few topic ideas and popped them into a hat. We have a hat here, a lovely taco hat. Some of my coworkers are familiar with this hat.
So am I.
So we're going to pull a topic out of the hat, and we're going to randomly do this on the spot and figure out what we're going to say in the moment. So here we go. Okay. Today's topic is Cards Against Humanity.
AKA Ka.
Ka, yeah. So we're going to pick a Ka topic from the Cards Against Humanity deck, and then we're going to try to come up with our own answer on the spot.
On the spot. You just never.
We're in quarantine, we've got nothing to do. So, obviously. So let's get started.
Okay. This one says, next on ESPN2, the World Series of
knitting.
The World Series of knitting. That's a good one.
All right. What's yours?
The World Series of video gaming, like on basketball, like basketball video gaming.
Okay.
And the reason I say that is because the other day we were out getting a pizza, and because we do leave sometimes because there are takeout restaurants that are open, right?
Support your local restaurants.
So, and they literally on ESPN had the channel where they were watching a basketball game, but it was a video game. But the people that were playing the video game were NBA players. So
real NBA players playing themselves in the game.
Yeah. So anyway,
All right, for our last segment tonight, we're going to do What's in Your Mug? So, Brittany, what's in your mug today?
Today, I have this wonderful Apothic Red. This thing is my favorite wine ever, and I'm not sponsored, although I would love to be. But this is like a red blend. It's very smooth. It tastes great every time I drink it. But earlier I was drinking something else. But this is great. What's in your mug?
I've got Arrogant Bastard Ale from Stone Brewing. Interesting story about Arrogant Bastard Ale. That was a mistake, and it actually ended up making them famous.
Well, What do you mean? Tell me more.
They accidentally brewed a batch that was miscalculated, and they put in double the amount of hops they were supposed to, and it turned into Arrogant Bastard Ale. And they thought everyone would hate it, and they put it out there into the world, and people loved it, and Stone became a household name.
That's a great beer.
It's a great beer.
Is a good beer. And we'd also love sponsorship from Stone.
Definitely.
Just saying.
All right.
All right. So thank you guys so much. This was really fun. This is Q News, by the way, Q. Yeah, I mean, this was a good time. Hopefully we can be doing this more.
It was. And we'll get better.
Yeah.
We hope.
We're only going to go up from here.
Hopefully for you guys, we get a lot better.
Yeah. So next time on Q News, what are we doing?
We're going to talk about the numbers.
Numbers.
We're going to talk about the briefing, as usual. We did not hit our good news spotlight this time around, so we'll do that next time for sure.
Yep, that's all about some good news, local, global, whatever.
Yep, and then I think we're going to introduce a new segment called the Brand Splain.
The Brand Splain. This is one of my favorite things in life, necessarily, is the Brand Splain. It's something that happens when you're just not expecting it, and all of a sudden you start to get brand splained. So you guys are going to get brand splained, and you're going to love it.
By yours truly. Stay tuned for the next episode. We're Q News.
Yes.
Good night. Good night. So stupid.